VCAL PD presents Movie Talk Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the 2Sweet movie show. It's Thursday, the 2nd of August. We have the new movies releasing today. Mission Impossible Fallout. Now this is basically going to be one of the biggest action movies of the year. I'm saying it right now. Right, so it's going to be big. Has anyone heard about it? Yeah, right. So it just released today, and it's going to break the box office in Australia, I guarantee. It's going to be an awesome action adventure thriller. And it clocks in at an epic 2 hours 27 minute runtime. It's already got an 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. And again, it's going to be directed by Christopher McQuarrie. He directed the last Mission Impossible, which was Mission Impossible Rogue Nation in 2015. Now, yeah, I think most of the cast is coming back. You've got Tom Cruise, Rebecca Ferguson. Pretty sure Jeremy Renner, he's not in it in this one, which is a bit of a surprise, but he's not in this one. We've got Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Sean Harris, Alec Baldwin. And this time you have Angela Bassett, who has joined. And the cast is pretty big. This time, Man of Steel star Henry Cavill is going to join the team. Now, he's August Walker. And he's got this big moustache on. So it's going to be good to see that. And Michelle Monaghan is coming back to Mission Impossible. She hasn't been in it in a long time. So, yeah, basically old people who Ethan Hunt has been with is coming back to the screen. So, basically, we haven't seen Michelle Monaghan since 2011. She's been in, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. She was in Mission Impossible 3. And, yeah, she started off in Mission Impossible 3. So it's going to be her third movie she's been in on the Mission Impossible series, which is quite interesting. And it's going to be big if you haven't heard of the story. Well, basically, 2 years after Ethan Hunt had successfully captured Solomon Lane, the remnants of the syndicate have reformed into another organisation called the Apostles, under the leadership of a mysterious fundamentalist known only as John Lark. The organisation is planning on acquiring 3 plutonium cores. Ethan and his team are sent to Berlin to intercept them, but the mission fails when Ethan saves Luther, and the Apostles escape with the plutonium. With CIA agent August Walker joining the team, Ethan and his allies must now find the plutonium cores before it's too late. Now, this is one of the biggest action blockbusters of the year, people. You've got to go and see Mission Impossible Fallout. Pretty sure that you've got it in VMAX, you've got it in V Premium. It's just exciting stuff, basically. Now, yeah, it's been out a while in America, but it's the first time Australia gets Mission Impossible today. And exactly your mission, should you choose to accept it. And that is Mission Impossible Fallout. And it's the 6th installment of the franchise. And the series has started a long time ago. But people are saying that the more Mission Impossibles they create, the more it gets better. So I guess you've just got to see this. The impossible becomes possible. And the ideas, they never entirely run out. As the stunts which are in the film are just fresh and eye-catching. The plot's big, They've got a big plot. And as you've seen some of the scenes, like the one in the bathroom scene where Henry Cavill and Tom Cruise are fighting, you would have seen it in the trailer. Of course, that's going to be one of the best action scenes of the year. People have been saying you don't get bored by this film. Basically, it's just a non-stop 2 hour, 27 minute runtime, and it goes really quickly. It's just, the acting's well done, of course, by Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson, Michelle Monaghan, and all of them. It's just been saying the best action movie of the year. And even the one where they filmed it in Switzerland, in the Alps or something, where Henry Cavill is firing at a helicopter, which Ethan Hunt's in. It's just got spectacular action, people. Tom Cruise does his own stunts, so you just want to see this. It's absolutely unbelievable what Tom Cruise does. He's an absolute legend in cinema. He really is. Alright, so there's Mission Impossible Fallout. Some missions are not a choice. So certainly I'll be going to see Mission Impossible Fallout. I was planning to see it maybe this weekend or maybe the next weekend. Well, I was going to plan it to see it with my mates or something. So yeah, we will definitely see it. Some other movies which are still out, you've got Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which is smashing the box office. And all the oldies are happy with it and everything. It's been having a good run. Still haven't seen it yet, but I think my family was saying that they want to see it with me on the weekend. So I guess I'll provide a review when I've seen it. Another movie out, you've got The Equalizer 2. Now, that's the sequel to The Equalizer in 2014, directed by Anthony Fuqua. So the same directors joined for the sequel. And this one, an action, crime, thriller type of film. And it was done very well. I saw it, I think, a week and a half ago now. And I really thought it was entertaining. I mean, it's worth the wait. We've been waiting, 4 years for a second one. And Denzel, he does some good performances in this one. It's just he's a good actor, and this is actually his first sequel. So it's good to see that as well. And the beginning was absolutely terrific. I mean, you've seen it in the trailer where he's on this train, in a different country or something. And it's like that scene in the bar in the first Equalizer where he's trying to get Chloe Grace Moretz, the one who's sort of a sex slave thing, is trying to save her and stuff. But there is a bit of a warning. This one is a bit slow. I mean, it doesn't get a plot in a long time, right? But of course, it's still entertaining and watchable. And this one's about an unfortunate thing happens to a character which Denzel Washington loves as a friend in the first one. So basically, it's got a good story there. And it's got a good motivational scene as well of Denzel. He's looking after this kid who's gone in the wrong path. So it's pretty good as well. I mean, you've got massive scenes there's a scene at the end of the movie where he goes and shoots people in this massive hurricane weather area thing, and that was also very spectacular to watch. It was a good ending to the film. I did like it. Waves were blowing, wind were blowing. I mean, waves were crashing, winds were blowing, and there were noises everywhere. I mean, the sound in this film's quite done well as well. I really thought that it was a very spectacular film. It was done well, especially all the fight sequences which you've seen in the trailer. Even the one where he's in the car and like someone gets a knife at him, and you gotta there's so many great action scenes in this one. There really are. And me being an Antoine Fukuya fan, I was happy with what he did in this one, basically. I mean, you know him from Olympus Has Fallen, which was just spectacular with Gerard Butler, Aaron Eckhart, Morgan Freeman, Angela Bassett, Dylan McDermott, and those cast. And I've seen it many times. It's one of my favourite popcorn action blockbuster films. I really love it. Makes me entertained. And even, that was in 2014. But he had another film in 2007, which I have seen a couple of times, and it stars Michael Pena. And I really like him because, I saw him in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I thought it was pretty terrifically done, to be honest. I thought it was a very good performance by him. It was really spectacular. And Danny Glover and Mark Wahlberg, obviously. So he's a great director. He knows how to make movies. And Robert McCall, he's not your average action hero. He has good messages behind him and everything. And he stands for justice, for the exploited. And he goes very far when there's someone who's hurt who he loves. So it was quite good. But maybe in a lot of ways, it is slow, and it did get boring at times. I mean, there's this thing with his partner and stuff. Not partner, with like his cop partner in the days. So he was like fighting with him and everything, meaning on the police force and everything. But it was a good suspense thriller. It had good mystery to it as well. But I don't think it was better than the first. I thought the first was pretty much better than this one. Doesn't mean it's a bad film. I mean, it's still a good film, but it did need more action scenes. I thought the scenes when they were all fighting and everything, I thought it'd be longer, especially the one with the train. But it was pretty quick, to be honest. That's what I gathered. Actually, that's what it looked like to me. But still, I mean, The Equalizer 2. It's written by the same person, Richard Wenk, so I guess he did a good job in everything. But yeah, normally sequels, they're not as good as the first one, but Denzel Washington did good performance. Pedro Pascal was okay. Bill Pullman, he's alright. Melissa Leo, she did great performance. And, he has good quotes as well, like, I'm your father, your mama forgot to tell you about me. Like, there are two kinds of pain in this world. The pain that hurts, the pain that alters. Today you get to choose. There will be consequences. There is no equal. It was different to the first one, I'm telling you. More mystery than the first one. Which is a good way in some circumstances, but also boring in others. But overall, The Equalizer, I'd say I'd probably give it 7.5 out of 10. Thought it had great action, but it could have some more like substance to it. Maybe some more action would have been more brilliant to have. But I mean, I thought it would, but it didn't end up, so can't really do much about it, to be honest. But still, yeah, I think that's a fair enough rating for it. Hey, so now I wanted to talk about Incredibles 2. I saw it about a week ago, I'd say. Last Saturday or the Saturday before. I really did enjoy it. I thought it was a good sequel to the first one. The first one's a classic. And I watched it. And yeah, we've been waiting about, I'd say, a couple of years for a sequel. Yeah, like waiting 13 years for a sequel. Pretty big, yeah. And you know the story, right? The story of the movie, basically while the Parr family has accepted its collective calling as superheroes, the fact remains that their special heroism is still illegal. After they are arrested after unsuccessfully trying to stop the Underminer, their future seems bleak. However, the wealthy divorced siblings of DevTech offer new hope with a bold project to rehabilitate the public image and legal status of supers, with Elastigirl being assigned on point to be the shining example. Now having agreed for now to stay at home to take care of the kids, Mr. Incredible finds domestic life a daunting challenge, especially with baby Jack newly emerged powers, making him almost impossible to manage. However, Elastigirl soon has her own concerns dealing with the menace of a new supervillain, Screenslaver, who is wreaking havoc with his mind control abilities. Now Elastigirl must solve the mystery of this enemy, who has malevolent designs on the world, with the Parr family and friends key targets of this evil. So yeah, I really liked this film. I thought it was done well, right? And I was happy that Brad Bird was directing this one, because as you know, he directed the first one in 2004, so he returned as the director, which was very good to hear. And it was good to hear, because we all liked him in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which Brad Bird directed in 2011 with Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, Paula Patton, Anil Kapoor, Leah Sadux, which was a pretty good movie. And yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout's not directed by him, but directed by Christopher McQuarrie, as I said just before. So yeah, I thought it was directed well. It had good writing and stuff. Thought the cast, like Craig T. Nelson, did a good job. So did Holly Hunter and Sarah Val, Huck Milner, Samuel Jackson as Frozone. He was a good surprise. He was a good surprise. He did a good performance as Frozone. Good voice acting as Samuel L. Jackson. Well, we always like him. He always does good performances in his films. I thought it was just a great family film, basically. I really did like it a lot. I did like the first one, and I thought, it was pretty solid. It was a pretty good effort by Disney. And yeah, it's been smashing the records, so Lots of people have loved this film. And I thought it was pretty fantastic. Like, it could be my favourite Pixar film. You know, but could be one of my favourite Pixar films. And you know, I was very excited for the sequel to come out. I wasn't disappointed with it. I thought it was pretty good. You know, it has good humour, themes, and pure fun. It's pretty much a fun movie, and it's good fun for the whole family, basically. It was smart. It was done well. It's actually been called one of the most top-rated movies on IMDb. So I guess that's another good thing to hear. And you know, yeah, according to my opinion, Brad Bird, like, he's a bit of a genius director. But people didn't think so when he directed Tomorrowland, which is a bomb with George Clooney and Britt Robertson. But that was another dilemma. I forgot about it, I'm pretty sure, so I don't really know. Don't really remember it, but, you know, 14 years waiting for Incredibles, not 13. But still, it exceeded my expectations. I thought it was pretty good. Some great action. It was a good action. Like, it had good action in it as well, like family action and everything. I thought, yeah, went up to 2 hours. Pretty solid. I didn't really get bored from this one. I'd probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. Pretty perfect in my opinion. Yeah. Alright, so there's Incredibles 2. Another film I just saw. I saw this film yesterday. And it is Skyscraper. Now, this is an action thriller drama. And if you're not familiar with the story, it's basically Will Ford is a former leader of the FBI hostage rescue team and a war veteran of the US Army. And basically he's injured by like this suicide bomber thing, and then he loses his leg, so in the film he has a prosthetic leg thing. And yeah, so he gets assigned for a new job. He basically assesses the security of skyscrapers, the safety of the skyscraper. So, you know, he has an account, like he's logged in to the system. And he has a work trip in like Hong Kong. And then after that, he's incriminated in the fire of the tallest and safest building in the world. So basically, just these people who are working on the skyscraper, they sabotage the business and, like, you know, they sabotage him and blame him. And then, you know, he's got to clear his name and he's got to rescue his family from the building. I thought it was pretty well done. I thought it was a pretty spectacular film. I know lots of people have been saying, you know, oh, you know, it's the Dwayne Johnson fatigue. How many movies has he been this year? But I think this one was solid. This could be some of his best work in the couple of years. This was really smart, well done. I mean, you know, you've seen the previews where he has one hand on this building and stuff, and he has to climb a crane and stuff. If you're scared of heights, that could actually terrify you. I mean, I'm not kidding about that. That was very well done, especially just the bit where he like goes on a motorcycle and has to climb that crane. Because, you know, if his family is stuck there, of course he's going to get them back. He's Dwayne Johnson. And it has good messages about family. It has good messages about loving your kids, you know, treating them right and everything. It's a pretty smart film. And, you know, you've got this big building in Hong Kong. It's spectacular. Everybody on the ground, they're filming him just trying to climb. Because, you know, people are just surprised. He, like, gets on this crane and he's like, because people think that he's the one who did it, but no. I mean, why would Dwayne Johnson do that? And other spectacular things about it is, the fire, obviously, the action, him hanging off the building, as I said. But there was a scene where Chin Han, who's playing Zhao Longji, he's the one who created the skyscraper. So yeah, he's one of, colleagues with Dwayne Johnson and stuff, like his boss basically. And he creates this like cool thing, and there's this cool effect of a skyscraper in the film, and it's pretty interesting. Like, it's this little circle thing, like this little small thing, and he like scans a card and stuff, and then there's a safe and everything. It's pretty cool. And the look of him in this film, he's just like, he just sees this crane, he runs up to it, goes and jumps on it and stuff. It's a good action thriller. I know people have been saying, it's Die Hard, it's the Towering Inferno. It may have elements of it, but in my opinion, it's a whole different film. I mean, yeah, they do take elements from it. But I thought especially the cool scene which was in it was a mirror sequence. Now, there's this scene, I'm not going to spoil anything, but in the final scene, he's like, trying to fight a villain in this like wall of mirrors, in this room of mirrors. So Dwayne Johnson just punches the mirror, and then after that, the villain like disappears, obviously, because it's all mirrors and everything. And and it's also this scene, like, Dwayne Johnson, like, when he's injured, he uses a lot of duct tape. I thought that was pretty good as well. I mean, the story was done. It was done well, I mean. The acting was actually done well by Dwayne Johnson. I mean, he is a good actor. It's just an enjoyable. I mean, it is a family film. I would recommend it to young people. It's not like a film where, what should I say? It's not really an MA-15 plus action film. It's an adrenaline rush. I mean, I guess you can call it that. And as I said in my Facebook review, it puts you on the edge of your seat until the closing credits. It's a fun blockbuster movie. And it's big, loud, and just has big fun in it. But you have Dwayne Johnson running around the building. He's trying to save his family from a group of bad guys and escape from the burning building. But it delivers. I mean, the plot, there's a hostage situation gone wrong, and it's an amputee victim. And then after that, he actually meets Sarah, who's played by Neve Campbell, and it becomes his wife. And yes, this is what I was thinking. So, yeah, I remembered now. For the tallest skyscraper on the planet, it's the Pearl. Now, yeah, it's a Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure it's in a real structure. And his family is the first to live in the tallest structure. But these bad guys, they try to infiltrate the building. And then an explosion goes wrong and everything. Will Sawyer just going to stop at nothing to get back into the building to save his family. I mean, there's twists as well. Some twists you won't see coming. Some twists you might guess. Depends, you know. You know, it's exciting. It's fun. If you're an action film genre fan, this is the film for you. Even if you've loved Die Hard, you can also be entertained by this film. It was just awesome, that crane scene. I mean, as you've seen in the trailer, it's even better when you see it on the big screen. You know, Dwayne Johnson, he delivers this role. He's playing a loving father, and he stopped at nothing to save his family. You know, we haven't seen her for a while, Neve Campbell, since the Scream movies or something. Roland Moller, he did a good performance as a villain, I'd say. And the visual effects were done well as well, so you can't beat anything. I just, you know, kudos to Roshan Marshall Thurber, who actually teamed with Dwayne Johnson back in 2014, or 2015, I'm pretty sure, for Central Intelligence, which was that action comedy with Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jason Bateman, even Melissa McCarthy. And that one, and even Aaron Eckhart was in it, I'm pretty sure. No, not Aaron Eckhart. The other Aaron guys from Need for Speed. The one who's in Breaking Bad, but he was in it. You know, he delivered, so I can see that Roshan Marshall Thurber can make more action films. Because he did make Central Intelligence, but it wasn't an action thriller, it was action comedy. But it's still very similar to... I mean, it's like Central Intelligence, it's not like a copy. But they're both an action film genre. Obviously, they're very different, but the same guys worked on them. You know, I mean, I thought it'd be longer, but it went pretty quickly. I think it was an hour and 40 minutes. Normally, Dwayne Johnson's action films go for about 2 hours. Like normally they go up to 1 hour 50 minutes or something. So, you know, it was a bit of a surprise to see that. You know, but he delivers as the big tough guy. You know, you've seen him in Baywatch, you've seen him in the other guys. You've even seen him in Jumanji. You've seen him in Snitch. You've seen him in Faster. You've seen him in so many great films, you know, The Rock. Even Walking Tall back in 2004, where he played a good action role. You know, it's Will Sawyer. He's here to save the day. It's a death-defying adventure. It's one of those films which is made for the big screen. And, you know, don't look down because it can get a bit, you know, hard to handle if you're It's a bit hard to handle if you're scared of heights or something. I mean, it's got towering pace and consistent acting by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I guess you could say that it sort of goes back into classic 80 movie mode, where you had Die Hard and the Towering Inferno. But it's different to that. They've changed it a lot. They haven't done a complete rip-off, which people have been saying that's happened. It's a good summer movie. It's a worthwhile watch for any action movie fans. You know that, like, with everything left to lose, Will must push past his setbacks in order to sort out this mess and save his family. And you got to say that Dwayne Johnson represents charisma on screen. Every time he delivers a line, you can tell that people don't get bored by him speaking. He's just... He can say any line, which is just, any solitary line. And you just like it because he said it, He has great charisma. Even in Baywatch, where people said it was rubbish. I mean, I did think it was entertaining, obviously, because of Dwayne Johnson. And even Zac Efron and Dwayne Johnson had a good chemistry, like funny guy partnership there. So I thought they were good together, but other people thought differently. He has physical struggles. He has a love and determination for family. And it makes the movie more intense. What it was really intense, like the film. I mean, it's even got thrilling adventure. I mean, it was just a great film. I really did love it. And even Neve Campbell, she's believable with her determination in the family. And I haven't seen her in a while, and she has more nuances than just resorting to a damsel in distress. I mean, I haven't seen Neve Campbell in a lot of things, but she's been in the Scream movies, the classic Scream movies in the 90s, and she did put good performances in those, actually. But, I haven't seen her in a lot of things, but I think after Skyscraper, she could return into some big movies, people. She could be a bigger film actress, actually, Neve Campbell. And, there's another guy in the film who's Pablo Schreiber, and he actually works with him. So, but, he's a bit of one of those characters, like, sometimes they turn bad and stuff, but you saw him in Den of Thieves. I didn't really recognize him in Skyscraper. He looked a bit different. I think he just put on a different character. But, still, his performance is worth it. And, even in Skyscraper, there's this scene in a kitchen. And, Dwayne Johnson and Pablo Schreiber are fighting with knives and even, like, smash into dishwashers and stuff. It's just this house and they're smashing it apart. Even, like, the TV gets kicked down. And Chin Han, who plays Zoe, he brings a mysterious layer to his involvement with the Skyscraper, as his business is not what it seems. And then, I can expect that Rorschach Marshall Thurber can create some more good action thrillers in a long time. And I thought, he's a really strong guy, and you like watching him on screen, Dwayne Johnson. He has big strength and everything. And even Noah Cottrell and McKenna Roberts as Henry and Georgia, they complete the pack as the cute twins of Will and Sarah. I mean, sometimes these childhood actors that they get for these big, like, Universal Pictures, legendary studio films, like Pacific Rim Uprising, for example, same company, but totally different film. And, I thought these child actors did a good job, actually. He brings a brisk pace with fresh new takes at, like, fisticuffs and shootouts. Like many 80s movies, action movies, actually. You know, even I can say that when the film starts, you know, you think it will start off with like skyscraper thing, but it actually starts off with like a hostage negotiation thing. And we see a different character to Dwayne Johnson, meaning he looked a totally different guy. And you know, like at the start, it's very thrilling with him in his part with the scene and everything. And even this film, you know, it can be funny at times as well. So it's a good comedy. You It's a homage to the action era. And I guess you could say it's also a science fiction film. And it grabbed my attention from the beginning. It has an interesting plot and a fascinating storyline. It made me feel driven to discover what would happen at the end. From the beginning of the film, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I mean, it starts off, there's this scene where even the title card and the end card, they both have the same, like, writing on the screen, like, you know, SKYCRAPER, and it's like down the screen like that, and it, you know, they do it, and then after that, at the end, they do another thing where they show the director writing and all the credits and stuff, and it's a cool sequence. I thought it was very well done. So, as you know, I've had a lot to talk about with Skyscraper. Seeing I watched it last night, so I do remember lots of things about it. I'd say overall, I'd probably give it 9.5 out of 10. It was a solid movie. It really was solid by Dwayne Johnson. And I haven't seen anything like that with him before. Especially at the start with him with that gun, hostage negotiation thing. I guess you could compare it to G.I. Joe Retaliation, where he was with Channing Tatum and they were like sort of doing gunfights that way and everything. But I don't know you could say that. They were totally different movies. They really are. So now I should probably go on to another review after giving that 9.5. And now I wanted to review Race 3. Now this is a Bollywood action movie. I saw it on the holidays. And if you're not familiar with it, it's directed by Remo D'Souza. And I'd say it's probably one of his best films he's ever made. He makes some ordinary films, but this one was quite well done. I mean, it's entertaining. It's not like, you know, Oscar worthy, but it's entertaining. I mean, this story about Race 3, it basically, like the story about Race 3, it's about a family, it's about a group of members, and, you know, Salman Khan, he's one of those big action heroes of Bollywood. You know, you've seen him in Tiger Zinda Hai, you've seen him in Ekta Tiger. He plays Sikandar, and he's Sikandar Singh. Now, he's in this whole family of Anil Kapoor. Now, Anil Kapoor is Shamsher, and basically it is his son, Sikandar. Now, yeah, it was done pretty well. I mean, Salman Khan, he delivers some good masala acting here. I know probably people with this podcast aren't really familiar with that many Bollywood films, but it sure is one to check out. I mean, it's got some great things. I mean, the direction could be a bit better. Even the dialogues could be a bit better, but everything else was done superbly. I mean, the direction by Remo D'Souza, he even said he made the film like he would watch it. Like, he made the film to entertain. He didn't make it for like an Oscar-worthy type of thing. But the dialogues were cringe-worthy, you could say, but I still really enjoyed it. I mean, the cast is pretty massive here, and they deliver smashing performances. That they really do. I mean, Salman Khan, as I said, he's the son of Shamsher. And Shamsher, he's like this arms factory dealer and everything. That's what he plays. And you've got Yash as well, played by Bobby Deol. Now, Bobby Deol is, he's one of these big... He used to be a very big action hero, but he returned to the screen. And there's this massive scene at the start. And you've got Sikandar, Salman Khan, on top of this, this thing. And he just does, this Superman type of superhero thing. And he just, jumps off and, he does, this flying thing. It's really cool. And then he goes into a building. And then after that, there's, guns firing everywhere. And he picks up a gun and... Then Bobby Deol, he comes in with a motorbike thing, so he just jumps in and saves the day and everything. And then after that, you've got... I mean, it's sort of hard to explain, but it is a very entertaining film, which can be hard to understand sometimes, due to the way it was made. I mean... Still a very entertaining film. So the other character you got is Jacqueline Fernandez. Now, a bit of a love interest between Sikandar and Yash, played by Salman Khan and Bobby Deol. And even you've got Daisy Shah, played by Sanjana. Now, we haven't seen her with Salman Khan since J-Ho. She has certainly changed, and I bet people know her from this dialogue. Our business is our business, none of your business. It was a pretty cringeworthy dialogue, but it makes you laugh. It's an unintentional comedy, you can say. It has some good laughs. And even Saqib Salim as Rana, I thought he put in, a good performance like Dishum. He wasn't a bad actor as such. And, it just delivers some big action-packed thrills. I mean, you could say... It's one of the best action suspense thrillers of Bollywood in the recent months. It's just because it's really spectacular. I mean, the movie's entertaining. The locations, talk about the locations. They go to Dubai, they go to Abu Dhabi, and Thailand, I'm pretty sure. And the climax is a bit unexpected. If you're a Salman Khan fan, you'll just absolutely be stunned. It's an excellent masala entertainer. They call it Pesa Vasula and Sidma Movie of the Year. And it has high-octane action. I mean, from the start, it starts off with this, desert type thing. And then Shamsher got, this thing. And then he just pulls the thing, and then this explodes, and then it starts off with these opening titles, and it looked like a Top Gear style thing. I think he had an idea there. And then after that, they do an introduction of all the characters. Ali Abbas Zafar actually does the narration of the voiceover to start off the movie, and he did a good job in doing that, I can tell you, because... He actually directed Salman Khan in Tiger Zinda Hai, and he did an absolutely spectacular performance there. And the action doesn't stop. You've got this other action sequence with Anil Kapoor, and he has this action sequence on a busy highway, and another spectacular one. He's just firing guns and stuff, inside a car. It's hard to believe. I mean, this wouldn't happen, but it's still very entertaining to see it. I mean, from that to... There's more action sequences. There's another sequence which revolves around a song. I mean, there's an action sequence, and even some massive action sequences in Thailand where Salman Khan is on this motorcycle and there's like this tree blows up in front of him. I mean, you just want to see it. It's just spectacular. You've even got, there's this big, like towards 20 minutes of the end of the film, like Salman Khan and Bobby Deol are fighting, and they're punching each other's muscles and everything. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't happen, but it's still good to see it on screen. It really is. There's powerful visual and cinematography. I mean, it was shot well by Anyaka Boss. And the good songs, I mean, they have some massive songs in this film. I mean, you've got the sequence which plays every couple of half an hour. I mean, you've got dun 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 dun. We're coming back to the race. That plays a lot, and it gives it a good, to the audience, it gives it a good grip on them. And I mean, the songs. The first song we see, according to memory, is "I Found Love." Now that appears when Salman Khan and Jacqueline Fernandez meet on this holiday, and they're stuck in this double room thing, and then they, in like Kashmir, India or something, there's like these mountains and like it's a good cinematography in the song. And yeah, Thailand is where they filmed part of the songs, actually. And there's that song to start off with, "I Found Love, I Found It With You." And then there's another song which is "Party Chale On," "Bling Bling Karti Ye Lights," "Oh Super Fun Ke Night." I mean, that one was also a very nice song. I mean, and I forgot to mention, "I Found Love" was actually sung by Salman Khan. So he accidentally produces it and he sings in this. So, and he has a pretty good voice. I mean, lots of people were saying the song wasn't that good, but I did really like the song. I thought it was a good song. And the other song which appears, they go to an Emirates Palace Hotel, and I'm pretty sure it's in Abu Dhabi or something, or Dubai. And that's where they shot that song, "Party Chale On," and they're in this big like party hall thing, and like all of the stars are dancing, and let's party chale on and on and on. And it has some good singing by Mika Singh. You've known Mika Singh, he sings so many good songs. If you're familiar with Bollywood music, you would have knew Mika Singh. He sings Akshay Kumar films, Salman Khan films, And the other massive song, I think this was maybe one of the best songs in the film, "Hirie." "Hirie tina chatera karke na pucha hame kya ho gaya," which is a song with Salman Khan and Jacqueline Fernandez, while the other members of the team are doing a heist, which is close to the intermission. So yeah, this, as Salman Khan said, we have emotional action, we have car action, we have bike action, we have man-to-man action, woman-to-woman action. This is the film, people. This is a film if you want to be entertained. And after the massive sequence, I mean, they have in Thailand, which is after the intermission, where he goes, "Us res ka Sikandar, main hu." It's a powerful dialogue. And then the film goes on again with this story about a politician's sexually blackmailed. There was a story there. I don't know, it didn't really go anywhere. It was a bit of a story just to add to the runtime. But still, it was alright, I guess. I mean, So after that massive sequence in Thailand, they go. Oh yeah, Jacqueline Fernandez and Salman Khan. They like hand glide with like these parachute things, and they fly into the song Ala Duhai Hai, which is filmed at the Emirates Palace Hotel, I'm pretty sure. So that's what happened with that. And, and there's also this song which appears before here. I forgot to mention it. It's the song Sase Sase Dua Dua. And it's a pretty powerful song which delivers some good cinematography with these cars and helicopters going over. It was very well done. And, there's mysterious twists in this film. And, Anil Kapoor, Bobby Deol steal the show. Bobby's back with a bang. That's right, isn't it? And, people have been comparing it to Fast and the Furious. It's very different to that. People could say it's very similar, but it's very different. I mean, I could say it could be one of the biggest Bollywood action thrillers ever made, and they put it in 3D. I got to see it in 2D, so I didn't see it in 3D. But still, he has spectacular action and dialogue and everything. There's exciting stories, marvelous cinematography. Even Freddie Durwala gets a great performance. Jacqueline Fernandez, you see her fighting Daisy Shah, Sanjana, and Jessica fight with this like disco scene. It was pretty spectacular to watch. They, girl to girl action was very good. And, you really enjoy it. I mean, lots of people have been watching it. And most of the people have enjoyed it. I mean, some of the people enjoyed it, but not everyone. But you can say it has a massive ensemble cast. And it's been quite some time since we've seen Bobby on screen. You'll see him soon in Yamla Pagla Diwana 3, which releases soon in Village Cinemas, I've heard. And Anil Kapoor, he plays like a business tycoon, I guess you could say. And he delivered some action stunts in here as well, some good action. And the look of him in this film's quite good as well. He has a stylish look. And Anil Kapoor's daughter Rhea has designed his look in the film as well. I mean, they have a good bond, Salman Khan and Bobby Deol. And the action is pretty top class. And it's even a good family movie. It's fun for the whole family. Great visual effects. And as you can say, Salman Khan, people have been saying, it's a copy of Fast and the Furious Race 3 because they're talking about family values, the unity of family. But you can say, Salman Khan, in half of his films, he always talks about the love of his family, He loves family and everything. Like there are enemies and haters in a family, but we want to make some peace and friendship again in the family. There's even this scene in a warehouse towards the end where Salman Khan, he gets this massive beast of a car and then just rides it over the desert from the warehouse. He's being human. He just Hong Kong. I mean, lots of people watched it in Hong Kong and there was massive reception from them. I mean, yeah, it is a bit of an edge on your seat action, just like Skyscraper. And as you know, race series is always known for massive twists, and this one surprises you with the twist as well. You know, every car they bought, they said in the behind the scenes clip, which you can find on YouTube, they said that they blew up every car, and the action director, Mr. Tom Struthers, didn't want any car to come back. They just wanted them all blown up. You know, you can't take your eyes off Salman Khan and that massive scene where he's fighting those cars. I mean, you can see at the end of that trailer, there's this scene where Salman Khan, he's got this like massive gun and stuff, and then he like pulls it up, like it looks like a rocket launcher or something. I don't know what you can call it, but it was massive as well. What happened there? And you know, her action sequences are mind blowing as well. Daisy Shah and Jacqueline. It's an excellent film. It's lots of fun. I mean, you can say that Salman Khan, you know, the man who can do no wrong, and you got to see the movie as a massive entertainer. Enjoy the action, glamour, and visuals. I mean, they're both superb. And even Selfish, I forgot to mention the song that appears in the middle of the movie, I guess you could say. And it's when Daisy Shah and Bobby Deol have a romantic connection on screen. And she does like this thing on like a pole or something. Well, Jacqueline does a pole dance in here, which was very nice to watch, I can say. And Selfish also provides a good dance on this like hang gliding thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very nice to watch. You just have to watch the film yourself to understand it, basically. And it's very watchable. I mean, there's romantic subplots as well between the two leads. I mean, it has an alright editing, but it could be better, I guess you could say. But the songs were very good. I mean, Remo D'Souza, he's famous for his dancing, so he did good job on the direction of those dance scenes. I mean, you know, lots of times, you know, when his entry's there was a lot of claps and whistles by the audience. And it's a bit different for a Salman Khan film. I mean, it's something he hasn't done before, which is spectacular to see from him. I mean, here, yeah, massive song. If you're an action fan, you'll be impressed. And the second half especially has some of the best sequences, like the flying sequences, the explosive climax action block. You know. But all the songs are pretty well done. I really did like those. From start to end, you'll be surprised by this film. And at the end, you will know that Race 4 is coming due to a massive climax due to the finale. And don't go anywhere when the credits roll, because there's a massive mashup which combines all the songs, which you can also see on YouTube, which is very spectacular to see as well. And you know, you don't need enemies when you have a family. and relationships and loyalties of a criminal family planning its next big heist are tested when some shocking revelations strike them. That's basically what happens. Yep. And people have been saying like music was a huge disappointment. I can say it was nice. I mean, and some fun facts. I mean, Imran Hashmi was approached, and so was Shah Rukh Khan and Siddharth Malhotra. But then they finally chose. The other people. I guess nothing really more to say. I mean, it's just a spectacular film, and made by Tips Films and Salman Khan Films, and they delivered some spectacular. So I think probably I'm gonna end 2Sweet movie reviews, but before I do, I forgot to give my rating of Race 3. I'd probably give it. I mean, I'm not rating it on the good of the movie. I'm going to rate this on my opinion on the really good action scenes. And I'd say it probably deserves a 8.5 out of 10. It really does, because it delivers some good performances. All right, I think I'm going to stop this right now. And I'll see you next week for another session of 2Sweet movie reviews. See ya. Have a nice day.